Welcome in, everybody, to Clyde Berry Field here on the campus of Henderson State University in Arkadelphia, Arkansas for Game 3 and the rubber match of our weekend series between the Oklahoma Baptist Bison and your Henderson State Reddies. I'm David Sally, filling in again today for the voice of the Reddies, Blake Smith, bringing you what should be another exciting and very important game in this weekend series, but really over the course of the entire GAC season. A lot of things have led to this for both of these teams. Both these teams badly need to win this series in terms of seeding for the Great American Conference Tournament. 1 weekend left in conference play next weekend for both of these clubs. Right now, Henderson State in 5th place, Oklahoma Baptist in the 8th spot. Henderson State actually clinched their place in the GAC tournament with a win yesterday. Oklahoma Baptist still trying to claw their way into the tournament and secure their spot without a shadow of a doubt. It was a wild one here yesterday as these two teams played one of the crazier doubleheaders we've seen this season. Henderson State was down 5-0 in the top of the first inning of the first game yesterday, but came back and won that contest 8-6. The Bison then came out in the second game and dropped 8 runs on Henderson State in the top of the first inning of the 7-inning contest. And once again, Henderson State got up off the mat and tied the game at 8 apiece, but the Bison, to their credit, bounced back and won that game anyway, 11-9. And so now today, it is the rubber match between two very talented GAC clubs. It's Reese Weeks getting the ball for Henderson State, as has been customary for almost every GAC series this year. Weeks, 4-1 record. This is his 12th start, 4.73 ERA and 53 1/3 innings. Struck out 49, walked 49. The absolute definition of effectively wild so far this season. Opponents hitting just 198 against Reese Weeks, but again, his stuff plays if it can be in the zone. That'll be the big question for Henderson State here today. Weeks, GAC Picture of the Week a couple weeks ago. They'll be looking for that version of Reese here today against the best lineup statistically in the Great American Conference, Oklahoma Baptist. They showed us why yesterday. Here is the second baseman, 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗘, batting leadoff for the 3rd straight game for Oklahoma Baptist. Weeks' first offering is high, and we are underway here at 12:02 p.m. on another spotless, picture-perfect day for baseball in Arkadelphia. 𝗨𝗨𝗕𝗘 batting .384 this season. 68 hits, 40 RBIs. Chops that one straight back up the middle, and a bad break for Henderson State. Reese Weeks had a chance to grab that under his glove, and then it looked like the second baseman, 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏, might have had a chance to get it, but it hit off the second base bag and bounced straight up in the air. So a base hit up the middle to start things off for Oklahoma Baptist and 𝗦𝗨𝗨𝗕𝗘. And once again, Oklahoma Baptist in first innings has been absolutely lethal so far in this series. And if you're Henderson State, that is the last thing you want to have happen for a 3rd straight game against this Bison offense. Weeks starts out the first baseman, Jaden Schaefer, with a strike. Schaefer, one of 4 players on this Oklahoma Baptist team that has started every game this season. 44 for 44. He had some big moments yesterday in the doubleheader. Swing and a miss. That second pitch from Weeks, and Weeks is in front, 0-2. Much different looking uniforms from Oklahoma Baptist today. They were black and silver yesterday. Today the gold and green is Schaefer. Swings and misses on that offering from Weeks. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night from Reese Weeks to Jaden Schaefer. That is the first out here in the top of the first. And that brings up one of the more dangerous hitters in the Great American Conference, the designated hitter Alex Schroeder, GAC's all-time leader in career home runs. He had one yesterday in the second game. Weeks' 1-0 catches the corner of the strike zone to even the count at 1-1. Henderson State, same defensive lineup today. Argenbright at third, Coward at shortstop, Farah at second, Luke Rice at first base around the horn. Behind the plate, catching his second game of this series, is Landon Irvin. The outfield, same as yesterday. Louis Holton left, Nate Moore in center, Cal Jones in right field. Weeks behind, 2-1 to Schroeder. Schroeder takes a pretty healthy cut at that one, fouls it right back in front of us into the net. And it's 2-2. Schroeder, a .347 hitter. The GAC leading 16 home runs, 68 RBIs, slugging .729. An imposing figure in that right-handed batter's box. Weeks looking to punch him out here, and he does. Breaking pitch, catches the zone. Nice pitch by Reese Weeks. Back-to-back strikeouts. It's the second out of the inning for Henderson State. The catcher, Troy Shields, stepping in for the first time for the Bison. Another guy who had a big day yesterday. He's had a big season. .375 average on the year. Started all 44 games, 62 RBIs. Good jump there by Lasad. First pitch is called a strike to Shields, but Lasad slides in and steals second easily. So Oklahoma Baptist has a runner in scoring position here for another very dangerous hitter, looking to strike first for the third straight game. Ooh, close on that pitch by Reese Weeks. Thought he might get that one, but he did not. It's 1-1. Shields cuts on that, fouls it back into the net. Now 1-2. 1 on, 2 outs. 1-2 count here on Troy Shields, top of the first. This deciding game of this weekend series here in Arkadelphia. Reese Weeks looking for his third strikeout. Shields spoils it and will do it again. It really is congested in the GAC standings right now. 3 games separate 6th place and 1st place in the Great American Conference. Both these teams very much still on the hunt. Weeks' pitch is lined up the middle. That's going to score a run for Oklahoma Baptist. The throw is going to come in, but it's not going to be in time. And with 2 strikes against him and 2 outs in the inning, Troy Shields delivers, and for the third straight game, Oklahoma Baptist strikes first as his RBI single brings home Lasad, and the Bison lead at 1-0. Big early swing in this game from Oklahoma Baptist. 2 strike, 2 out hitting comes through. If you're Henderson State, based on what happened in the 2 games yesterday, you can live with 1 run. The Bison had 5 first-inning runs in the first game and 8 in the second game. So 1 feels easy if you're Henderson State compared to that. But you got to keep it there. Weeks ahead 0-1 on the third baseman, Spencer Dickinson. That pitch runs in. Dickinson was a menace yesterday. He was on base 6 times in the 2 games of the doubleheader. A .316 hitter. Started 43 games, 44 RBIs, 50 hits, 9 home runs. He hits that one hard right at Caden Argenbright. He tries to play it on a hop, and he does. Good job by Caden Argenbright to stay in front of that one, used his body to shield it. That took a wicked hop off the turf. He smartly went to second base with it for the force out, and that will end the top of the first inning. Oklahoma Baptist, 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 1 stranded, but they lead it 1-0. Reddies coming to bat for the first time at the bottom of the first inning. You're listening to the Henderson State Sports Network. Henderson State trails at 1-0 here early, coming to bat for the first time at the bottom of the first inning. This Reddies lineup will face the left-handed starter for Oklahoma Baptist, Ryan 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 start of the season. 7.34 ERA, 3.2 record. 34 1/3 innings pitched. He struck out 36, walked 19. Opponents hitting .322 against Turbeville. 8 wild pitches, 2 hit batters. So numbers, if you're Henderson State, that suggest there are runs to possibly be scored today. We'll see what they can do against Turbeville. It's 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗦𝗏, the second baseman, to lead it off for Henderson State. Luke was in the lineup yesterday, but wasn't the leadoff hitter in either one of those two games. First pitch from Turbeville is right down the middle for a strike. Luke was 1 for 6 yesterday in the doubleheader. Had 1 RBI. Also walked once and was hit by a pitch, so he's on base 3 times. Reddies will look to him to get things started here today. As he fouls that one out of play. Luke playing in his 30th game, his 29th start here today. .222 average. He has stolen a lot of bases though. Sends that one into the right side, and it's a really nice play by the second baseman, 𝗦𝗨𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗕𝗏. Showed a lot of range to get to that one, threw it against his body on the run, and gets 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 4-3, and that's the first out. Here's the third baseman, 𝗬𝗜𝗦𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗕𝗏, the top hitter in this lineup statistically. 𝗦𝗏𝗦𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗕𝗏 4 for 6 yesterday, scored 4 runs. Had a double, walked twice, and hit by a pitch. So he was on base almost 80% of the time he came up yesterday. Puts a charge into that one. Will it get over the head of the center fielder, Joseph? No, it will not. Good swing by 𝗬𝗜𝗦𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗕𝗏, but tracked down by Wiley. It was Joseph yesterday. It's Jaden Wiley out in center field today for Oklahoma Baptist. And very quickly, there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the first for Henderson State. And batting with 2 outs is the first baseman, Luke Rice. Rice had a big swing in the first game of yesterday's doubleheader, a 3-run home run in the 6th inning that ended up being the game winner for Henderson State. Gave them the lead, and they never relinquished it. Rice 3 hits yesterday, 4 RBIs. Also walked 3 times. Turbeville working well, working quickly. Ahead of Rice 1 and 2 here. Good start from Turbeville. Reddies put 2 balls in play, but nothing to show for it. Oklahoma Baptist thought that offering from Turbeville was a called third strike. The umpire was having none of it. The catcher actually got up out of the crouch and took his mask off. Let's see if Rice can make him pay here. Fouls that 2-2 pitch off to stay alive. Turbeville's 2-2 to Rice is swung on and hit very hard, and it's going to drop in front of Wiley for a base hit. So Henderson State, their first base hit in this one. They've put some good swings on some early pitches from Turbeville. And they have something to show for it now. Rice, his first hit of the day, and that brings up Jordan Allen with 1 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Allen, the reigning GAC Player of the Week for his efforts last weekend against Southern Nazarene. Allen, 3 for 9 yesterday. Did strike out 3 times. We know Jordan's got a lot of pop in that bat. Cuts on that one, sends it out towards the road behind us, foul. Jordan Allen's true freshman season at Henderson State couldn't have gone much better for him. .330 average. This is his 32nd game played, his 24th start. He's been tremendous. It's a nice pitch there that catches the zone from 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗕𝗏. He's ahead once again, 1-2. Jordan leads the team, 7 home runs this season. Third with 23 RBIs, slugging .600. And he's late on that high fastball. First strikeout of the game for 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗕𝗏. The Reddies strand one, and they trail it 1-0 as we go to the top of the second inning here at Clyde-Berry Field in Arkadelphia. The Bison lead at 1-0 here as we start the second inning at Clyde-Berry Field in Arkadelphia. It's the right fielder Cameron Grant up to the plate for the first time today, facing Reese Weeks. Weeks gave up a run on a couple hits in the first inning. Did get a couple strikeouts. Cameron Grant, .265 hitter, getting his 15th start of the season today, so a guy that's worked his way into the lineup here in the second half of the season for Oklahoma Baptist. Middle of the day Monday game here for both these teams. Pretty abnormal. This series pushed back to Sunday, Monday due to weather here in Arkadelphia on Saturday. So more of a sparse crowd here at Clyde-Berry Field than normal. A lot of people working or in class. Weeks behind 3-1, and he loses him. First walk of the day for Reese Weeks, and Cameron Grant is on to lead off the second for Oklahoma Baptist.
Batting the left fielder, number 22, Gabe Irwin.
The left fielder, Gabe Irwin, will get a chance to bat with a man on base. Irwin, .227 hitter. He knocks that one down the third baseline. It's in a perfect spot. It's going to be a tough play for 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and he can't make it. Just a perfect swinging bunt from Gabe Irwin. And that hurts if you're Henderson State. Not much 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 could do about that one. Just a trickler right down the third baseline, and now Oklahoma Baptist has 2 men on and nobody out here in the second inning. That hurts too if you're Henderson State, because there's so many big hitters in this lineup that to have the guys hitting .265 and .227 reach back-to-back to lead off the inning, that stings a little bit when you know you've got 𝐵𝗏𝗏𝗏, Schaefer, Schroeder, Shields, and Dickinson at the top of that lineup coming up behind them. Weeks behind 1-0 here to the shortstop, Jacob Campbell. Perfect time for a double play for Henderson State. Oklahoma Baptist seems to think the same. Campbell's squaring to bunt, try to move both these guys over into scoring position. Campbell started every game this season at shortstop for Oklahoma Baptist. He hit a big home run yesterday. Bunts it down the line, and it is foul. 2 strikes on him now. Be interesting to see if they'll have him do that again or let him swing away. Campbell does have 9 home runs and 30 RBIs, and again, he hit a big one yesterday. Helped Oklahoma Baptist put up 8 runs in that first inning of the 7-inning game. So we know he's capable of swinging the bat. We'll see if they let him do it here. He's behind 1-2 to 𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫𝗫 pretty good pitch, but home plate umpire says it's a little bit up. That evens the count at 2-2. Stone cold take there by Campbell. Big swing and a miss on that pitch, though. Good job by Reese Weeks to get the first out here in this second inning. Not the at-bat Oklahoma Baptist was looking for. They wanted Campbell to move those two runners. Wasn't able to do it. That's a win for Henderson State, and that brings up the 9-hole hitter and center fielder Jaden Wiley. Wiley was inserted late in the second game yesterday as a pinch runner when Oklahoma Baptist was up 8-1. I can't really imagine they ever expected Wiley to be in the situation he found himself in at the plate a couple innings later. But in an 8-8 game, he had a triple that ended up being the game-winning swing for the Bison. Again, another guy that's very capable, 343 hitter. This is 17th start today. He's already ahead 2-0 here on Weeks with 2 men on and 1 out. Bison lead at 1-0. Wiley sends it up the middle. Chance for a double play. Cowart flips it to Farah. Not a good flip. Had a little trouble getting it out of the glove. Could have been an inning-ending double play there. Hard to assume the double play, but that one was pretty tailor-made for Cowart. Either way, they get the force at second, and it allows Grant to go down to third. So you've got Wiley at first, Grant at third, 2 outs now. Another 2-out opportunity here for Oklahoma Baptist. They came through with that in the first inning for their first run, and this is 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗘. He's been very dangerous this weekend. Already has 1 hit today. Takes a first pitch, strike from Weeks. You know, Reese Weeks, we gave you his numbers at the beginning of the game. Came into this one with the same number of strikeouts as he had walks. But one thing he's done pretty well is navigate in and out of danger. He seems pretty comfortable with runners on base. He's going to have to be here with runners on the corners for Oklahoma Baptist. 1-1 count on 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗕𝗘. Swing and a miss. Waved at that one. And now Reese Weeks, 1 strike away from closing the door on this second inning for the Bison. They have threatened. Weeks had a chance to get out of it in the first without giving up a run. Couldn't do it. Let's see if he can do it here. 1-2 count on 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗑𝗕. Here's the pitch from Weeks. 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦 pops it up on the infield. 3 men come in for Henderson State. It's going to be 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who finds it in the sun as it drifts back in to fair territory, and he makes the grab for the 3rd out. Nice job by Reese Weeks there, pitching his way out of trouble. Oklahoma Baptist strands 2. They lead at 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning here. You're listening to the Henderson State Sports Network. It was a good start for Ryan 𝗬𝗏𝗧 in his first inning here of this third game. Gave up 1 hit, but no runs. Struck out Jordan Allen to end the bottom of the first for Henderson State. Oklahoma Baptist leads it here, 1-0. It'll be the left fielder Louis Holt leading things off for the Reddies as they come to the plate. Holt, .321 hitter, 36 hits, 21 RBIs, 5 doubles, 1 home run. Great on-base percentage for Louis, almost 500. He had 4 hits in the doubleheader yesterday. Quickly behind 0-2. This lefty on lefty matchup between 𝗬𝗏𝗧 and Holt. That pitch is high for the first ball. Louis Holt, a native of Hawaii. Mililani, Hawaii. And the flying Hawaiian sends one through the right side. 1-2 count to get things started off for Henderson State here in the bottom of the second. That brings up the center fielder, Nate Moore. With 1 on and nobody out, his team trailing 1-0 here. Moore, great speed, .257 hitter. Had 2 hits yesterday, including a double. Always got to be a little cautious when Moore's at the plate. Could lay down a bunt. Has great wheels, especially with Louis Holt over there at first base. That 1-0 pitch from 𝗬𝗏𝗧 is low, and Moore is ahead 2-0. Nate Moore from Texarkana, Texas. Just a sophomore. Squares like he wants to bunt there, pulls it back, and the pitch is high from 𝗬𝗏𝗧. It's 3-0. See if Henderson can do what Oklahoma Baptist did last half inning, put 2 men on with nobody out. That 3-0 pitch is in there to make it 3-1. The Bison had men on first and second and nobody out, but failed to score. Reese Weeks was able to get in and out of trouble. See if Moore can get on base. He puts a charge into that one, sends it out into center field, just got under it a little bit. And a nice job there by 𝗬𝗏𝗧 to come back and get Nate Moore as he flies out to Wiley for the first out here in the bottom of the second. Freshman Cal Jones playing right field again today. Steps into the left-handed batter's box. Jones was the leadoff man in both games for Henderson State yesterday. Batting just under 300 on the season. Takes a look at a first pitch strike. Cal had 3 hits. Doubleheader yesterday. Had an RBI as well. Couldn't catch up to that pitch, and he's quickly in the hole 0-2. Louis Holt runs well, leads off at first. Not going anywhere, and Cal Jones stares at strike 3. That one froze him. Looked right at it and knew it was a strike. And just like that, there's 2 outs here in the inning for Henderson State. Louis Holt got him off to a promising start, but 𝗬𝗏𝗧 has done a nice job to get Moore and Jones. And he now faces the catcher, Landon Irvin. Just trying to keep things going here for Henderson in the second. Irvin takes a look at a strike to even up the count at 1-1. Irv played in the first game yesterday. They gave his knees a break in the second one. He's 1 for 3. Batting .313 this season. 𝗕𝗦𝗦𝗧𝗏, a half-hearted check of Louis Holt over at first base. Louis 5 for 6 on stolen base attempts this year. The Reddies don't run a ton. But no need to run there, as Landon Irvin serves one through the right side. It's the third hit of the game for Henderson State, and it keeps the inning alive.
Shortstop, number 11, 𝗏𝗏𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏
inning with an opportunity to tie this game potentially. Louis Holt at second base, Landon Irvin over there at first, 2 outs. Cowart was terrific yesterday. Swings at the first pitch he sees and lifts it into deep right field, and Oklahoma Baptist has it for the 3rd out of the inning. Henderson State strands 2. They get 2 hits but can't score, and they trail it 1-0 as we go to the 3rd here at Clyde Berry Field in Arkadelphia. You're listening to the Henderson State Sports Network. One nothing Bison as we head to the top of the 3rd inning here in Arkadelphia. 3 hits apiece, but the difference is a 2-out RBI single that Troy Shields had in the 1st inning for Oklahoma Baptist. They lead it 1-0. This is the first baseman, Jaden Schaefer, facing Reese Weeks for the 2nd time. Weeks through 2 now. He's given up 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 3, walked 1. Schaefer ahead 2-0 now. He's struck out in his first plate appearance. It's the first strikeout of the game for Weeks. Schaefer pops that one fouling out of play. Weeks has given up 41 hits this season, but potentially one thing he does well that might factor in today is he doesn't give up a lot of home runs. Only 3 home runs given up this year. So that one nestles in there for a strike to even the count. And as we know, this Oklahoma Baptist team hits a lot of them, tons of power. That'll be something to watch today to see if they can get to Weeks with a long ball. Count runs full. Weeks trying to keep the leadoff man off the base paths for the Bison. But can't do it. That pitch is low and away, and Schaefer is aboard to start things off for Oklahoma Baptist in the 3rd. 52 strikeouts, 51 walks now this season for Reese Weeks. That puts a man on base for Schroeder, who struck out looking in the 1st. That offering from Reese Weeks is low. And a addition to his 16 home runs this year, Schroeder's also had 15 doubles. So he's not just hitting it over the fence, he's hitting it into the gaps, and you would expect nothing less from a guy that has 68 RBIs this year. He's ahead 2-0 here. Weeks gets back into it as Schroeder fouls that one back into the net. Schaefer standing over at first. Just one stolen base attempt this season. Schroeder gets underneath that one and pops it up. Will it stay fair? Looks like it will. Luke Rice trying to track it in foul territory and makes the play. Threw his glove up at the last minute. I think these guys are really battling that sun today. But a good play by Luke Rice as Schroeder fouls out to the first baseman for the first out here in the top of the third. That brings up Troy Shields. Shields 1 for 1 and had that big RBI single. He had 2 strikes against him and 2 outs in the inning when he shot that single through the right side and scored 𝗏𝗏𝗏 for the game's only run to this point. Shields also had a 3-run home run in the first game yesterday. He's got 62 RBIs this season. Second most in the GAC, second most on his own team. Reese Weeks checks on Schaefer. Oh, 1 pitch to Shields is turned on but foul. Weeks is ahead 0-2. Weeks in control in this at bat, ahead 0-2, looking for his 4th punch out here. Ooh, just missed. That is a stone cold take by Troy Shields. Good pitch, nice place to miss by Reese Weeks. Borderline, maybe just a little bit outside. And Shields stays alive. Not this time, though. Off-speed pitch from Reese Weeks gets Shields to swing through. 4th strikeout of the game for Weeks. And the 2nd out of this 3rd inning for Oklahoma Baptist. Much like Henderson, they got the leadoff man on, but 2 outs follow, and now it will be Spencer Dickinson, the 3rd baseman, batting with a man on first and 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Dickinson 0 for 1. Reached on a fielder's choice that ended the top of the 1st inning. Dickinson tried to turn on that inside pitch. Fouled it off towards the Reddie dugout to even the count. The 1-1 from Weeks to Dickinson is outside. 2-1. Oklahoma Baptist comes into this one today 27-17 overall, 15-14 in GAC play. Holding on to that 8th and final spot in the GAC tournament standings. Weeks just again misses by a fraction. And he's behind now to a good hitter, 3-1. Dangerous count here against Dickinson. That one's a strike. Tries to hit that spot again and does it this time, and for the second time today, Oklahoma Baptist assumed they had a walk and did not. Full count now to Dickinson. Reese Weeks trying to get out of this inning. He's already struck out 4. Schaefer looking to go. He does, and that pitch is low and away. Second walk of the inning from Reese Weeks. So 2 on now with 2 outs for the right fielder Cameron Grant. Grant walked to reach base back in the second inning. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks now for Reese Weeks. And again, this is kind of the MO on Reese. He'll strike you out, he'll walk you, doesn't give up a ton of runs typically. He's behind to Grant, 2-0. And Caden Argenbright and Landon Irvin are going to come out to have a chat with Reese Weeks. Just trying to settle their pitcher down a little bit. 2-0. 2 men on. Oklahoma Baptist leads it here 1-0 in the top of the third inning, looking to add on to that lead. Their first run came courtesy of a 2-out hit. Cameron Grant, the right fielder, trying to add another big one here. Reese Weeks' pitch is high. It's 3-0 now, in danger of walking the bases loaded. He walked Schaefer, and he walked Dickinson, trying not to walk Grant, but he's in the hole 3-0. That's a strike to get back into the count, 3-1. That 3-1 pitch is high, however, and Reese Weeks has walked the bases loaded here in the third. 4 walks in the game, 3 of them this half inning. And now with 2 outs, and the Bison leading it 1-0. It's going to be Gabe Irwin stepping in with the bases juiced, but not before Hayden Simpson, Henderson State's pitching coach, is going to go out there and talk to Reese Weeks. We'll take a very quick break here on the Henderson State Sports Network. A very quick break indeed, not a very long visit from Simpson to Weeks. Couple words of advice. Big spot early in this game, though. Oklahoma Baptist ahead 1-0, a chance to break it open even further. And swinging at the first pitch he sees is Gabe Irwin. Pops it up into center field, and Nate Moore's got it. Like we talked about, Reese Weeks works his way into trouble and works his way out of trouble as good as anybody I've ever seen, and he does it there again. Oklahoma Baptist strands 3, and they lead it 1-0. It's the Reddies coming to the plate as we head to the bottom of the third here on the Henderson State Sports Network.
Batting the second
Henderson
baseman,
State gets out of a
Luke
jam
Farah.
in the top of the third, and now looking to tie it up or take the lead here in the bottom half of the inning. Top of the lineup, back up for Henderson State. It's the second baseman, Luke Farah. 0 for 1 today. He had a hit taken away from him in the first inning on a play kind of like that one. It went through the right side, and the first time 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗕𝗘 was able to make that play, but this time Luke hits it a little bit harder, and 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗑𝗕 unable to get to it. Luke Farah is on to lead off the bottom of the third. That brings up the third baseman, 𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗦𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 first at bat, lined out to the center fielder, 𝗦𝗨𝗦𝗧𝗏. 𝗦𝗨𝗦 had to back up to the track to get it. It's an at bat that you'll take if you're Henderson State. He just hit it in the wrong spot. Looking to find a gap here with 𝗏𝗏, who runs pretty well, standing on first base. Reddies trail at 1-0. That off-speed pitch from 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's been pretty good so far. He's through 2 innings of work. He's given up 4 hits, but 2 strikeouts, no walks, no runs. Henderson put 2 on in the 2nd inning, but 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 was able to get out of it. 𝗏𝗜𝗦𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗕𝗘 hits that one, and Luke 𝗏𝗏, not sure what he thought was happening there. I think he thought that was going to be lined into center field, but just poor base running. Gets way off the first base bag and gets doubled off. That's a very unfortunate double play for Henderson State. That ball fluttered up in the air, and I guess he thought was going to get over the second baseman's head, but it did not, and he is easily doubled off. That's a big double play ball for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 as the leadoff man is cut down, and now 2 outs in the inning here for Henderson State. Luke Rice at the plate, behind in the count 0-1. Takes a look at another strike that catches the top half of the zone, and just like that, what looked to be a promising 3rd inning for Henderson State is down to its final strike. And that's it. Luke Rice stares at strike 3, and just like that, Henderson State is out of the 3rd inning. Oklahoma Baptist leads it 1-0, and they'll come to the plate once again as we go to the top of the 4th here on the Henderson State Sports Network. A promising bottom of the 3rd inning fizzles out pretty quickly for Henderson State, and just like that, it's the Bison coming back to the plate here in the top of the 4th. Oklahoma Baptist leads this one 1-0. Henderson State 4 hits, the Bison 3, but Oklahoma Baptist in front where it matters. And the first batter, Campbell, chops one to 3rd base on the first pitch he sees, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Reese Weeks as 𝗏𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗏𝗏 sends it across the diamond 5-3. Reese Weeks will take as many of those as the Bison want to give him. He's been in a lot of full counts, thrown a lot of pitches already today, so some quick outs would be Good to see for him and for the Reddies. His first offering to the 9-hole hitter, 𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗬𝗦𝗧𝗏, is in there for a strike. Reese Weeks, 3 1/3 innings. 1 run on 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. Not a lot of action going on down there in the Reddie bullpen. Henderson State threw 10 pitchers yesterday. So if Reese is looking all right, I would imagine he's going to be given a pretty long leash today. He's behind now to the 9-hole hitter, 𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗬𝗦, the center fielder, 2-1. 𝗦𝗦𝗦 reached in the second on a fielder's choice and is now ahead 3-1. Weeks looking to reel him back in, but can't do it. That one's high. His 5th walk of the game.
Batting the second baseman, 𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗬𝗦𝗧𝗏.
It's been consistent base runners so far in this one for Oklahoma Baptist. But they're just 2 of 11 with runners on base. This will be their 12th at bat of the game with a runner on base here in just the 4th inning. Weeks starts off the second baseman, 𝗬𝗨𝗦𝗦𝗬𝗏, with a strike. 𝗬𝗨𝗦𝗦 singled, came around to score in the first, popped out in the 5th. Correction, popped out in the 2nd. 1 for 2 today, 385 average for the senior from Elk Grove, California. Breaking pitch from Reese Weeks doesn't break, almost gets 𝗬𝗨𝗦𝗦, who jumps out of the way. The count's 1-1. The center fielder, 𝗦𝗦𝗦, is over there at first, just 1 stolen base attempt this season. 𝗬𝗨𝗦𝗦 reaches for that one, gets a piece of it, and fouls it off into the net. Really a big California pipeline for this Oklahoma Baptist baseball program. Seems like a lot of their best guys are from out that direction on the West Coast. 𝗬𝗨𝗦𝗦 just does get a piece of that to stay alive. Still 1-2 to the Bison's second baseman. He's got a runner on first, trying to make something happen and extend the lead for Oklahoma Baptist. But he swings and misses. That pitch is in the dirt. And he got in the way of Landon Irvin, who was trying to throw out 𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗬𝗦 going to second base. You hear some people down behind the plate asking for interference. He tried to walk in front of Landon Irvin to walk back to the dugout, but he unquestionably got in Landon Irvin's way of grabbing the ball and potentially throwing 𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗬𝗦 out at second. And that's what Cody Hooten is going to ask about. He's going to say, hey, you sure you didn't get in my guy's way? In my experience in the Great American Conference, typically whatever they called first is what they're going to stick with. Doubt very seriously this is going to go the Reddies' way. That being the case, it's going to be 𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗬𝗦 on second base. He was running on that pitch. 𝗬𝗨𝗦𝗦 swung at it, and again, the pitch was in the turf, and Landon Irvin tried to get to it, kind of ran into 𝗬𝗨𝗦. Cody Hooten gives up on it. You could see his smirk from the press box, and he kind of waved it off as if to say, whatever.
Batting the first baseman, 25, 𝗚𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏
base with 2 outs for Oklahoma Baptist. Jaden Schaefer, the first baseman. Another 2-out RBI opportunity for the Bison. They lead it 1-0. Big swing and a miss from Schaefer on that offering by Reese Weeks. 5 strikeouts, 5 walks for Reese Weeks through 3 2/3 innings. Looking for strikeout number 6 here. He's now 1 pitch away. That one nestles in there for strike 2. He's ahead 0-2. Jaden Schaefer, 0 for 1 today. Did walk back in the 3rd, but he's behind 0-2 here. Weeks steps off. Here's the 0-2 from Reese Weeks. High and outside for a ball. One-two count on Schaefer. 312 hitter. He's had some good moments already in this series, but he stares at strike 3. That catches the corner. That's the 6th strikeout of the game for Reese Weeks. And once again, a runner stranded by Oklahoma Baptist. They've left 7 now already in this game. They lead it 1-0. It's the Reddies coming back up to the plate as we head to the bottom of the 4th here at Clyde-Berry Field in Arkadelphia. Still a 1-0 game here in Arkadelphia as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Oklahoma Baptist leads it. They got a run in the 1st inning, but nothing since for either team. Henderson State looking to tie or take the lead here in this 3rd and final game of a pivotal GAC weekend series between these two teams. Henderson won the 1st game. Oklahoma Baptist won the 2nd yesterday in what was a wild doubleheader. It's been considerably less wild so far here today. And it's Jordan Allen leading things off for the Reddies here in the 4th. Takes a pretty healthy cut on the first pitch he sees and fouls it off for a strike. Ryan Turbeville still out there for the Bison. He's been pretty good so far today. Came in with an ERA over 7. But he's through 3 innings now. No runs on 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks. So he's been about as good as I think Oklahoma Baptist could hope for. Allen swings on another and fouls it off. He's in the hole 0-2. Jordan struck out in his first plate appearance. 5 walks for Oklahoma Baptist, none for Henderson State. The Bison are 2 for 13 with runners on base so far today. They've been knocking on the door of adding some runs to their lead, but just haven't been able to do it. Henderson State trying to capitalize on that. Beginning here in the bottom of the 4th. Allen gets a piece of that one. Stay alive. Still 1-2. Jordan Allen, 33 hits this year. 7 home runs, 4 doubles, 23 RBIs. Hits that one off the end of the bat, and it's foul. Tried to flare it out into right field. If it had stayed fair, it would have dropped into no man's land between the first baseman and the right fielder, but it did not. Jordan, the reigning JC Player of the Week, but has yet to really square one up so far in this series. He had a couple hits yesterday, but 2 of them were infield singles. Swings and misses at that pitch. 2nd strikeout of the game for Jordan Allen. That's the first out for Henderson State here in the fourth. That brings up the left fielder, Louis Holt. Louis 1 for 1. His first plate appearance. Came back in the second. Hits that one off the end of the bat on the first pitch he sees, sends it out into center field, and that's a can of corn for Wiley. Quickly, 2 outs for Henderson State. Very quick innings in this game for Henderson State for the most part. They had 2 men on in the second. That was their biggest moment of threatening. But the third inning went very quickly, and already 2 away here in the fourth. It's been pretty quick work for 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 as he offers a first pitch ball to the center fielder, Nate Moore. That strike on the inside half evens the count at 1-1. Big swing and a miss by Moore. Foul tips it into the glove, and once again, Reddies 1 strike away from a very quick inning here in the fourth. Moore trying to keep things alive and get a 2-out rally going. 1-2 pitches outside to even the count at 2-2. Moore flew out to center field back in the second inning. .255 hitter on the year. Hits that one hard, but right at the shortstop Campbell, who makes the easy play, 6-3 over to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Henderson State. Ryan 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗏 rolling right along. He's through 4 innings, and he has a 1-0 lead. It's the Bison coming back to the plate as we go to the top of the fifth. You're listening to the Henderson State Sports Network. Reese Weeks back out to begin the fifth inning for Henderson State. His team trails 1-0. No run support so far for the Reddies starter, but he's been pretty good, all things considered. He gave up 1 run on a 2-out single back in the first inning, but overall just the 1 run on 3 hits. He's struck out 6 and walked 5. Oklahoma Baptist has had base runners throughout this game, but just 2 for 13 with runners on. And this is Schroeder to lead it off in the fifth. Swings the first pitch he sees and pops it foul out of play. Schroeder is 0 for 2. That top third of the Oklahoma Baptist lineup so far today is 1 for 7. Schroeder struck out looking in the first, popped out to the first baseman, Luke Rice, in the third. Hits that one hard, but right at 𝗏𝗏𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗓𝗏. Goes down to his knees to make a nice play. That's just good all the way around. You see Oklahoma Baptist skipper Chris Cox clapping. Schroeder hit that hard, but hit it right at 𝗏𝗏𝗦𝗏𝗏, who made a nice play. Troy Shields catching today. Batting fourth, coming up for his 3rd plate appearance. Shields caught the first game yesterday, and then designated hitter was his spot in the second. Swings at the first pitch he sees, sends it into the shift where the second baseman, 𝗦𝗏𝗕𝗏, is playing directly behind the bag. That's good scouting by Henderson State. If 𝗏𝗏 is not standing right there, that's a base hit right up the middle, but as it is, it's 2 quick outs for the Oklahoma Baptist Bison here in the 5th. As 𝗏𝗏 puts Shields out 4-3, and that brings up Spencer Dickinson with 2 away here. The big third baseman from Oklahoma Baptist. Dickinson, a fielder's choice and a walk so far in this one. .314 average. Takes a half-hearted swing at that one and can't check it. It's a 1-1 count for Dickinson against Weeks.
Yeah, it was hot over there on that turf.
Big swing and a miss from Dickinson, and Weeks now just 1 strike away from closing out the top of the 5th. It was a very quick bottom of the 4th for Henderson State, but Oklahoma Baptist has gone equally as quick so far here in the top of the 5th. Dickinson trying to keep things alive for the Bison. He sends it right up the middle. 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏 is going to try to make a play, and he does. An unbelievable defensive play by 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏. Had to go a long way up behind the second base bag and made a throw over to Luke Rice at first base on the run to take a hit away from the third baseman, Spencer Dickinson. Dickinson was running as hard as he could, but couldn't get there in time. A phenomenal defensive effort by the second baseman, 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Reese Weeks, who's through 5 now. Henderson State trails at 1-0. And they're coming to bat as we go to the bottom of the 5th here on the Henderson State Sports Network. Cal Jones in the 7 hole today for Henderson State, but he'll lead off for the Reddies in the bottom of the 5th. Reddies trail this one 1-0 to Oklahoma Baptist. It's been a very evenly played series, and today's been no different. The way this game's been played has been different than it was yesterday. A lot of offense yesterday. So far here today, both starting pitchers have been pretty good. Cal Jones tries to check his swing on the first offering from Turbeville. Can't do it, and that is a strike. Turbeville's been very good for Oklahoma Baptist. Better than his numbers would suggest. Cal tries to bunt that down the third baseline at Dickinson, but pops it foul and out of play, and he's now in the hole 0-2. Turbeville, no runs on 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, no walks. He has been rolling right along, has really never been in any serious trouble. Cal Jones sends that one deep into the hole, and the shortstop, Campbell, can't make the play. Tried to back up the third baseman, Dickinson, who couldn't get to it, and it goes off the heel of his glove. It was going to be a hit either way with the way Cal runs. And a good start for Henderson once again here in the bottom of the 5th. Leadoff man is on. Looking to tie this game up or take the lead here. They trail at 1-0. Landon Irvin getting his signals on the wristband from head coach Cody Hooten. He's going to square to bunt, and he bunts it foul. It just trickled foul down the third baseline. Thought it might stay fair for a minute, but had too much spin on it, and Dickinson wisely let it trickle into foul territory. If that had stayed fair, that was going to be a bunt single for Landon Irvin. He put it in the perfect spot, Just couldn't keep it on the right side of the white line. Cal Jones over at first base. Turbeville staring him down. Irvin squares to bunt again and can't get it down. Cody Hooten hangs his head at third base in the coach's box, and Landon Irvin, I got to imagine, is going to have the bunt taken off now. Couldn't get it down on his first 2 attempts. They were trying to move Cal Jones over to second, and Irvin now with 2 strikes against him is going to have to swing it. And he does. Hits it right at the shortstop, who goes to 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗕𝗘 at second base for the first out, and he turns it for a 6-4-3 double play, and that hurts if you're Henderson State. That's why you gotta get that bunt down. Brutal break for Henderson State, as once again the leadoff man is cut down. Henderson's had the leadoff man on several times, but just hasn't been able to do anything with it, and you can see the frustration from the Reddies head coach over there in the third base coach's box, as now there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th for the 9-hole hitter Logan Cowart. Cowart looks at a first pitch strike from Turbeville. Cowart tries to check his swing, can't do it. He's behind 0-2. Reddies have out-hit the Bison so far today, 5-3, but just have not been able to take advantage when they've gotten men on base. Cowart trying to make something happen here and get a 2-out rally going. Fouls that one towards the Bison dugout to stay alive. _61st pitch of the game for Turbeville is in there for a called strike 3. Turbeville's feeling good, and why not? He's through 5 and has really never been threatened by this Henderson State lineup. The Reddies trail at 1-0 as we go to the top of the 6th inning here at Clyde-Berry Field in Arkadelphia. Pretty quick game to this point in Arkadelphia. We've been playing for about an hour and 15 minutes. We're in the 6th inning now. Oklahoma Baptist leads it 1-0. They scored their only run of the game at the top of the 1st, and nothing for either team since then. Both teams have had opportunities, but both starting pitchers have been pretty good. Reese Weeks is back out there for his 6th inning of work. He's struck out 6 and walked 5, but he's only given up that 1 run, just 3 hits for Oklahoma Baptist. He's facing the right fielder Cameron Grant here to begin this half inning. Grant reached base twice, no official at bats. He's got 2 walks. Grant's ahead now, 2-1. Oklahoma Baptist trying to add to their lead. They've had a lot of base runners as Grant is behind a good fastball there. And it's 2-2. Oklahoma Baptist 2 for 13 today with runners on base. They've drawn 5 walks. Henderson State hasn't drawn a 1 from Ryan Turbeville, the Bison starter. 2-2 pitch from Reese Weeks. He pulls the string on Cameron Grant. 7th strikeout of the game for Weeks. And that's the first out here at the top of the 6th for Oklahoma Baptist. That brings up the left fielder, Gabe Irwin. Irwin is 1 for 2 today. Takes a look at a first pitch strike from Weeks. Singled in the 2nd. Popped out to center field in the 3rd. Nobody on here for Oklahoma Baptist. 1 out, top of the 6th. Irwin gets underneath that one, pops it out of play, and he's quickly in the hole 0-2. Some people starting to move around now in the bullpen for Henderson State. Nobody really throwing yet, but some guys down there kind of leisurely starting to get going. Reese has looked really good through 5 1/3 innings. That one is hit on a line, however, on an 0-2 count by Irwin into center field, the 4th hit of the game for Oklahoma Baptist. And he's on now for the 8-hole hitter and the shortstop, Jacob Campbell. Be interesting to see what they do with Campbell here. I'd imagine with 1 out, they'll let him swing away. He did hit a 3-run home run in the 2nd game yesterday. 9 home runs on the season. First pitch from Weeks is well outside. (2-0) now to the Bison shortstop. You really want to get Campbell, and then you really want to get Wiley. These are the 8 and 9 hitters in this lineup. After them, it flips back up to Lasad. That is a strike by Reese Weeks to get back into the count. It's 2-1. Gabe Irwin standing over at first base. Looks content to stay there for the most part. Big swing and a miss on a high fastball. And it's 2-2 now. Good job by Reese Weeks. He was behind 2-0. He's got back into it 2-2. Trying to go after Jacob Campbell, the Bison shortstop here. Campbell swings at a breaking ball. Hit on the ground to Caden Argenbright, who turns it to Luke Farah at second, and that is a 5-4-3 double play. The twin killer ends the top of the 6th inning for Oklahoma Baptist. Well turned by Caden Argenbright and Luke Farah. Good glove work. That was hit pretty hard right at third by Campbell, but Argie and Luke made that look easy, and that ends the top of the 6th for the Bison. Still 1-0. Henderson State hanging around, trying to make something happen against the Bison starter, Ryan Turbeville. They'll get back to it as we go to the bottom of the 6th here on the Henderson State Sports Network. Top of the lineup due up here for Henderson State in the bottom half of the 6th inning. They trail Oklahoma Baptist 1-0. Bison starter Ryan Turbeville back out there again for his 6th inning of work. He's given up no runs on 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, no walks. One of his best outings of the season here in this pivotal and deciding 3rd game of this weekend series in Arkadelphia. It's the second baseman, Luke Farah, who just helped turn that 5-4-3 double play, stepping in to get things started for the Reddies. Farah swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it out of play. Luke's 1 for 2 today. Singled through the right side, back in the third. Swings at that one as well. Another foul ball, and he's behind 0-2 to 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧, who's working quickly. He's got his confidence going, you can tell. Farah inside outs that one, but it's foul over towards the Bison bullpen. Still 0-2. Farah hits that one over the head of the shortstop, and it's going to drop in. A leadoff base hit for Luke Farah, who's 2 for 3 today, and once again, for the third straight inning, Henderson State has the leadoff man on in a game they trail 1-0. And now 𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗕𝗘 is standing in the left-handed batter's box. In this situation, last half inning, the Reddies tried to bunt. I don't think they'll be bunting here, with the program's all-time leader in hits standing at the plate. He swings at the first pitch he sees. That's going to work out about like a bunt would. That moves Luke Farah from first to second on the 4-3 putout. Lasad underhands it over to Schaefer at first. So now a runner in scoring position with just 1 out for Luke Rice, the first baseman. Luke had the biggest swing of the first game yesterday. And boy, would the Reddies love to see another one just like that right here. Luke Farah dancing behind 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧. His first pitch to Luke Rice is low for a ball. Rice is 1 for 2 today. He had a base hit into center field back in the first. He struck out looking in the third. One of the 5 strikeouts that 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧 has today. Farah trying to distract him. That pitch is high. Back-to-back balls is going to draw a visit from the catcher Shields. He'll go out, just talk to 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧 for a minute. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧 has really not been in a lot of trouble at any point today. The Reddies had 2 on with 1 out back in the second inning, but nothing came of it. And other than that, a base runner here or there, but the leadoff man's been cut down twice for 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧, and this is just the second time in this game the Reddies have had a runner in scoring position. Luke Rice in a good hitter's count now, 2-0. Luke Farah standing at second base. Reddies trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Rice looks at that one. A nice pitch catches the zone from 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧. It's 2-1. 𝗎𝗏𝗡 RBIs this season from Rice. He had 3 yesterday. Can he get another one here? That pitch is low. Good eye by Luke. It's 3-1. If Rice were to reach, that would bring up the freshman Jordan Allen, who's 0 for 2 today. A couple of strikeouts for Jordan. Rice, still good hitter's count. Looking to make something happen here. Swings it, sends it into center field. Luke Farah is going to come around. He gets the wave by Cody Hooten. That throw is going to be offline, and Luke Farah is in there. This game is tied. RBI single into center field by Luke Rice. And finally, the Reddies, they've been knocking on the door for several innings. The leadoff base runner comes around to score, and it's 1-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning in Arkadelphia. Big RBI single there by Luke Rice. His 2nd hit of the game, 7th hit overall for Henderson State, and it's tied. Jordan Allen now stepping in. Rice at first, still just 1 out here in the 6th. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧's first pitch is well outside for a ball. Rice is really good at just sending the ball right back where it came. Seems like he's done that a lot this season. Both his hits today have just been slapped out into center field. Not trying to do too much with it, just put it in play. Allen holds back on a good pitch by 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧 that evens the count at 1-1. Rice has actually attempted to steal 7 bases this season. He's stolen 6, so he's got better wheels than you might imagine for a first baseman over there. Jordan Allen ahead in the count, 2-1. Jordan's now 3 for 11 in this series. Still looking for that signature hit. We know he has it in him. Another nice pitch there from 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧. Drops in and catches the zone. It's 2-2. Henderson now looking to take the lead after tying this game here in the 6th. Allen lays off of that one. Good eye. The count runs full. After Allen, if he were to reach, it's Louis Holt, the left fielder. Here's the payoff pitch. It's low. Great at bat by Jordan Allen. True freshman struck out his first 2 at bats, but didn't force it. Draws a walk from 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧, who is laboring just a little bit for the first time today, and Oklahoma Baptist senses it too, and they're going to have a mound visit to talk to Ryan 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧. He's been cruising for most of this game, but the RBI single from Rice ties it, and then he walks Jordan Allen, and Oklahoma Baptist is going to have a chat with him at the bare minimum here. We'll take a break here on the Henderson State Sports Network. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧 stays in the game for the Bison. He's been very good today. This is really the first trouble he's faced all day. But Henderson State trying to take the lead here. 2-1, 1 out for Louis Holt. Swings and misses at a pitch that was outside the zone. 0-1 to Louis. Henderson with 2 on for just the second time today. It's a 1-1 game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Luke Rice dancing behind 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧, trying to distract him. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗧's pitch is low and away for a ball. Louis Holt 1 for 2 today, singled in the 2nd, flew out to center field in the 4th. A base hit here would very likely score Rice. Wind blowing out just a little bit to center field here in Arkadelphia. Holt sends that one towards the gap in left center. The left fielder's going back. He's got it, and it's going to make Rice hold. Had to hold up. Louis almost hit that one in the perfect spot, but it got caught up in the jet stream just a little bit, and the left fielder, Gabe Irwin, was able to track it down for the 2nd out. Still 2 on, 2 outs here for Henderson State in the 6th. They've already tied it this half inning. And now the center fielder, Nate Moore. 0 for 2 today. Fly out and a ground out in the 2nd and 4th. And he swings at the first pitch he sees and pops it up. First baseman Schaefer is going to track it down in foul territory, and that's going to do it. Henderson State leaves 2-1, but they do tie the game. It's 1-1 here as we go to the top of the 7th inning at Clyde-Berry Field in Arkadelphia. You're listening to the Henderson State Sports Network. It's anybody's game here in Arkadelphia as we begin the top of the 7th inning. Henderson State tied it up in the bottom half of the 6th. An RBI single by Luke Rice makes it 1-1 here in this pivotal deciding game of this weekend GAC series between these two teams. Henderson State knows it's in the Great American Conference Tournament. It's playing for seeding, all-important seeding. As you know, the top 4 seeds in the Great American Conference Tournament host 3-game series at their home venue. So Henderson trying to get into that top 4 spot. Oklahoma Baptist hasn't clinched their spot yet, but a win here today would go a long way for the Bison. It's a testament to how good the Great American Conference is that this Oklahoma Baptist team is currently in 8th. This team can swing it and pitch it. This is a good club, and this is a really good league these two teams play in, as Reese Weeks gets the 9-hole hitter 𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗬𝗦 to swing on his first offering. It's 0-1. Another nice pitch there from Weeks. He breaks that one off for a strike. 0-2 quickly to Wiley. Wiley batting .338, 0 for 1 today. He did walk back in the 4th. Reese Weeks has been really good today for Henderson State. They're going to let him keep going. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string again on Wiley. The 8th strikeout of the game for Reese Weeks.
Batting the second baseman, number 1, 𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗬𝗦.
On a day where Henderson really needed Weeks to be at his best, he's been very good. Through 6 1/3 now, 8 strikeouts, 5 walks, just 1 run on 4 hits. And it's back to the top of the order now for Oklahoma Baptist, the second baseman, 𝗬𝗨𝗦. He looks at a first pitch strike from Weeks, who looks dialed in right now. There are some guys getting loose in the bullpen, but I get the sense that if Reese Weeks keeps doing what he's doing right now, they're going to let him keep going. 𝗬𝗨𝗦 thought about swinging at that one. Picked his back leg up and looked like he wanted to swing at that like Happy Gilmore, but thought better of it. It's 1-1. 𝗬𝗨𝗦 hits that one hard on the ground to the shortstop Cowart, and Cowart can't make the play. Second error of the series for Logan Cowart, the usually very steady defensive shortstop for Henderson State, but just could not make the transition out of his glove there on a routine play, and that allows 𝗬𝗨𝗦 to reach. Hopefully that error does not hurt Henderson State or throw off Reese Weeks, who has been rolling but now has to deal with 𝗬𝗨𝗦 standing at first. First pitch strike is in there to Jaden Schaefer, the first baseman from Oklahoma Baptist. 𝗬𝗨𝗦 runs really well. 10 stolen bases on 12 attempts this season, by far the most on the team. We'll see if they put him in motion at some point here. He's standing over there, not too big of a lead. Reese Weeks thinking the same way I'm thinking, evidently. He checks on 𝗬𝗨𝗦 back at first. Jaden Schaefer 0 for 2 today, walked back in the 3rd. Count evens at 1-1. Schaefer, 50 hits this season, .312 batting average. Just 1 home run, 8 doubles, 1 triple, 31 RBIs. 𝗬𝗨𝗦's going to go. Swing and a miss. Landon Irvin throws it down to Luke Farah. Correction, that's actually Logan Cowart, but he threw it high, and Cowie had to jump up to try and grab it, and 𝗬𝗨𝗦 is in there with the stolen base. His second stolen base of the game. And Oklahoma Baptist with the go-ahead run now in scoring position. It's a 1-2 count for Schaefer here against Weeks. Can Reese Weeks work out of the trouble again? Schaefer swings late at that one and just does get a piece of it to stay alive. Just 4 hits today for Oklahoma Baptist, but they've taken advantage of 5 walks. And now an error for their latest base runner. One and 2 again to Schaefer. Swing and a miss. Great pitch by Reese Weeks. A big strikeout there of Schaefer. His 9th strikeout of the game.
Batting the designated hitter, number 30, Alex Schroeder.
And now just 1 out stands between Reese Weeks and ending the top of the 7th, and it might be the toughest out in the lineup for Oklahoma Baptist, the designated hitter, Alex Schroeder. Schroeder is 0 for 3 today. And with guys like him, that's when it seems like they might be at their most dangerous, when they're due, potentially. Lined out in the first, popped out to Luke Rice in the third, and then lined out in the fifth. So he's hit 2 balls hard today. Hits that one on the ground to the third baseman, 𝗦𝗦𝗦𝗕𝗘. Takes it on a hop, throws it across the diamond to Luke Rice, and that's a 5-3 put out. Reese Weeks loves it. He claps his hands. He's through 7. It's 1-1 here as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning in Arkadelphia. Reddies looking to take the lead when we come back on the Henderson State Sports Network. A new pitcher will toe the rubber here for Oklahoma Baptist in the bottom half of the 7th. This is Bryant Thornton, one of the key relievers for this Bison club, making his 16th appearance today. Thornton, a 6.69 ERA in 37 2/3 innings. He's given up 34 runs on 41 hits. 40 strikeouts, 26 walks. Given up 7 home runs, 7 doubles. Opponents hitting .270 against Thornton, who's also thrown 7 wild pitches and hit 7 batters.
Batting the right fielder, number 8, Cal Jones.
Cal Jones in the 7 hole. Due up once again to lead off the bottom half of this inning for Henderson State. It's going to be 7, 8, 9 in the Reddies order here in the 7th. Cal was the leadoff man for Henderson in both the games yesterday. We'll see if he can get the Reddies going here. They're looking for a run to take the lead in this one. First offering from Thornton is way high. It goes over the top of the glove of the catcher, Shields, and all the way to the backstop for a ball. Once again, just a picture-perfect day here today in Arkadelphia. Literally not a cloud in the sky. Crisp, cool, 65 degrees on this April Monday. Can't ask for much more weather-wise yesterday or today. Here at the ballpark, Cal Jones in a 1-1 count swings and misses at that pitch and is now behind 1-2. Swing and a miss. Blown away is Cal Jones by Bryant Thornton, who after throwing the first pitch over his catcher's head comes back with 3 straight strikes and sends Cal Jones back to the dugout. That's the first out for Henderson State. That brings up the catcher, Landon Irvin, who's 1 for 2 today. Thornton fires a strike in there. You can tell Thornton has a lot of velocity. Back-to-back strikes blow away Landon Irvin. He's quickly in the hole 0-2. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Landon Irvin. Ryan Thornton makes quick work of the first 2 hitters for the Reddies here in the 7th, and there's 2 away as the 9-hole hitter Logan Cowart steps in. Cowart 0 for 2 today, but had a big doubleheader yesterday. Would love to see him reach to bring the top of the lineup up for Henderson State, and he's going to do it. Sends that one straight back up the middle, and the first pitch he sees right back up the box. And Logan Cowart, with 2 away, has given the Reddies a 2-out base runner as the lineup card flips over. And it's going to be Luke Farah. Luke Farah batting lead off today for the first time in quite a while, but he's made it pay off for the Reddies. 2 for 3. Back-to-back hits in the 3rd and 6th, his last 2 plate appearances. First pitch from Thornton is outside for a ball. 1-1 game here in Arkadelphia. Reddies and Bison. The 1-0 from Thornton is low and inside. 2-0 now to Farah. The Reddies have out-hit Oklahoma Baptist 8-4 today. Doubled them up in hits, but still just 1-1 in the run column. Henderson looking to change that here with Farah. Thornton's 2-0 is swung on by Farah and sent out of play over the press box above us. And the count is 2-1. The 2-1 pitch is in there from Thornton. The count's even now. Thornton just 1 pitch away from ending the bottom half of the 7th. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 man at first base for Henderson State. Luke Farah at the plate. That pitch came back inside and caught the zone. Thornton missed his spot by about a foot. His catcher was lined up outside. That pitch came straight on the other side of the plate, but the umpire said it caught the zone. And Luke Farah is going to go down looking. That ends the bottom half of the 7th for Henderson State. They leave a runner stranded. Still a 1-1 game as we go to the top of the 8th here at Clyde Berry Field in Arkadelphia. You're listening to the Henderson State Sports Network. New pitcher for Henderson State as we start the top of the 8th. It's Jackson Gregg entering in what is very likely his biggest spot of the season. Gregg, a 1-0 record, has pitched just 5 2/3 innings on the year for Henderson State. Numbers are good, 1.59 ERA. He's given up 1 run on 6 hits, 7 strikeouts, 5 walks. But again, this is undoubtedly the most pressure-packed spot Gregg has been in on the rubber this season. What a time for him to come in. Henderson State tied with Oklahoma Baptist. 1-1 here, top of the 8th. And he's going to face 4, 5, 6 in the lineup for the Bison, beginning with the catcher Troy Shields, a .375 hitter who is 1 for 3 today. First pitch from Gregg is evidently a ball. I think he thought that was going to be a strike. I thought that was going to be a strike, but the home plate umpire disagrees. 1-0 to Troy Shields. Big shift on right now for Shields. That pitch is in there to even the count at 1-1. Second baseman Luke Farah playing more than behind the second base bag. He's actually on the other side of the second base bag. Luke Rice, the first baseman, all alone on the right side of the infield. Center fielder Nate Moore shifted to his right, our left. That 2-1 pitch from Greg is turned on by Shields, but sent well foul into the grass. Out here at Clyde Berry Field, it counts 2-2. Jackson Gregg looking for his 8th strikeout of the season here. Gets Shields to pop it up, but that's going to get out of play behind the Bison dugout. And Shields will stay alive. Gregg with a nasty pitch. Gets Shields to chase a ball well outside the zone. Not a good looking swing there from the catcher, Shields. Good start for Jackson Gregg. That's the first out here in the top of the 8th for the Bison, and it brings up the third baseman, Spencer Dickinson. Dickinson is 0 for 2 today. Takes a look at a first pitch strike from Jackson Gregg. Gregg's last outing came last weekend at Southern Nazarene, pitched 1 inning. Swing and a miss again from Spencer Dickinson. Another nasty looking pitch there from Jackson Gregg. He's looked pretty sharp so far coming out of the bullpen. 0-2 is the count on Spencer Dickinson, and Dickinson swings and misses Jackson Gregg. Back-to-back strikeouts straight out of the bullpen. Can't draw it up much better than that if you're Henderson State. And there's quickly 2 away here in the top of the 8th for the Reddies. Against Oklahoma Baptist, the Bison will send the 6-hole hitter and right fielder Cameron Grant to the plate. Grant swings and misses. A lot of swings and misses being induced right now by Gregg. He's got the Oklahoma Baptist batters off balance right now. That pitch is low to Grant. Counts 1-1. Gregg working very quickly. He gets the ball and he's ready to go. That one skips in there for a ball. It's 2-1. Prior to last weekend, Gregg hadn't pitched since March 30th against Harding, a game that Henderson lost 15-5. That one tries to come back in on the inside half, but can't. And Gregg is now behind to Grant, 3-1. Gregg's 3-1 pitch is in there for a strike. Grant tried to walk his way to first base. The home plate umpire says, hold on just a minute. The counts run full. Jackson Gregg with a chance to go 1-2-3 right out of the bullpen. It's a 3-2 count, 2 outs here. Nobody on for Oklahoma Baptist. Gregg's pitch is low and outside, and that is a walk for Cameron Grant. He's given the Bison a 2-out base runner here in the top of the 8th. His 3rd walk of the game. 0 for 1, but 3 walks for Cameron Grant, and that brings up Gabe Irwin, the left fielder. Gabe Irwin, 2 for 3 today. He's been really good. First pitch from Gregg is in there. Gets ahead once again, 0-1. Gregg's 0-1 pitch is hit hard. That is high, that is deep, and that is gone. A 2-run go-ahead home run by Gabe Irwin. A no-doubter over the field, over the wall in right field, and Oklahoma Baptist is ahead 3-1 now. Jackson Gregg was 1 pitch away from a 1-2-3 inning, and that's how fast things can turn. The Bison with a monster momentum swing here. Another big 2-out hit. Their first run in the first inning came on a 2-out RBI single. This one's even bigger. A 2-out, 2-run home run by their 7-hole hitter. And they lead it 3-1. Tough break for Jackson Gregg. He looked really good. Those first 2 at-bats, back-to-back strikeouts, just lost Cameron Grant, and Henderson State has walked 6 guys today, and one of them finally came back to hurt him. As it kept the inning alive for Irwin, and he made the Reddies pay. They trail it now 3-1. Greg ahead 0-2 quickly on the shortstop Jacob Campbell. Campbell lays off that pitch though, and it's 1-2. Two-two count now. Deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for Oklahoma Baptist here. They lead it 3-1. That's a really good pitch from Jackson Gregg, but doesn't get the call. 3-2, count runs full once again to Jacob Campbell. Campbell hits that one hard, but Louis Holt's backing up on it, and he's got it. So Jackson Gregg closes the book here on the top of the 8th, but not before Oklahoma Baptist puts together the biggest swing of the game, courtesy of Gabe Irwin. Irwin, the hero today for Oklahoma Baptist, if they can hold on. 3 for 4, his latest one the biggest, a 2-run home run with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. In what was a 1-1 game, not anymore. The Bison lead it 3-1. Work to do for the Reddies when they come to the plate in the bottom of the 8th when we return on the Henderson State Sports Network. The time is now, if you're Henderson State. They trail it 3-1 after the Irwin home run in the top half of the 8th. 2-3-4, the heart of the lineup due up for Henderson State here in the bottom half. Starting off with Kagan Argenbright. Argenbright 0 for 3 today. Fly out in the first. Grounded into a double play in the third. Grounded out in the 6th. He's facing Bryant Thornton. He's very effective in his first inning of work out of the bullpen. Struck out the side. Gave up 1 hit, but 3 strikeouts. Argenbright ahead, 2-1. Now 3-1. Base runner would be big for Henderson State, particularly with Rice coming up. Rice, Allen, Holt. Caden Argenbright hits that one hard. Is it going to get down? It is. He splits the gap in the right center field. Caden Argenbright running towards second base. He's going to be in there easily. A leadoff double for Henderson State. And we can now tell you, Caden Argenbright with that hit has tied the school record for longest hitting streak. 22 straight games with a base hit for Caden Argenbright. And what may have possibly been his last chance to do it. He makes the most of that opportunity. A big swing in this game for Henderson State. They needed that badly, trying to get some momentum back after Oklahoma Baptist stole it in the top half of the 8th with that 2-run home run. But the Reddies right back to work. We saw it yesterday. Henderson State down but never out. And here's Luke Rice, a guy with enough power certainly to tie this thing up with 1 swing. He'll bat with a runner on second base and nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. The Reddies trail it 3-1. First pitch from Thornton is low. Ball 1. Luke Rice, 2 for 3 today. Single in the first, struck out looking in the third, and then an RBI single back in the 6th that tied this game. That one bounces. Thornton threw that one about 57 feet. No chance for the catcher Shields to block that, and now Henderson State a golden opportunity here. They've got Argenbright at third base. Nobody out. 2-0 count to Luke Rice. Oklahoma Baptist, infield still back. Rice takes a look at a strike on the outside corner from Bryant Thornton. 2-1 count now to the Reddies' left-handed first baseman. Looking for his second RBI today. That pitch is high. Not close by Thornton. 3-1 count to Luke Rice. Henderson has out-hit Oklahoma Baptist 9-4 today, but trailed this one 3-1. Trying to scrap together another run. Rice took a healthy hack at that one. A good pitch to hit, just missed it. Count runs full now. Rice is one of the guys you love to have in this situation if you're Henderson State. Good eye, smart hitter. Here's the full count pitch. Hits it right back up the middle, and what did I just say? Luke Rice, for the third time today, singles right back up the box, and for the second time, it brings in a run. Henderson State's got something cooking. It's 3-2, just like that. Second RBI single of the day for Luke Rice. Doesn't try to do too much, just takes what Thornton gives him and sends it right back at him. Puts the ball in play, gets a hit, gets an RBI, and it's 3-2. Still no outs here for Henderson State. They trail it 3-2, but something cooking. And Oklahoma Baptist is going to talk to Bryant Thornton. We'll take a quick break here on the Henderson State Sports Network. I thought that might be the end of the line for Bryant Thornton right there, but Oklahoma Baptist elects to leave him in. He's going to face Jordan Allen, the Reddies' designated hitter. Allen 0 for 2 today, but drew a walk. His last plate appearance in the 6th. He's going to bat here with runner on first and nobody out. Reddies trail this one 3-2. Jordan thought about pulling the trigger there, thought better of it, and made the right decision. It's a ball. 1-0, it's the count on Jordan Allen. Luke Rice leads off at first. That pitch is well high from Thornton. 2-0 now to Jordan Allen. Henderson trying to tie this game. That one is high as well. Didn't miss by much, but it missed. Great eye from Jordan Allen. He's ahead 3-0. I would imagine if this is not a strike, this will be it for Thornton. See if he can stay in it. That one is high. 4-pitch walk to Jordan Allen, and that is the end of the line officially now for Bryant Thornton, as Bison skipper Chris Cox has seen enough. The Bison will make a pitching change. We'll tell you more about their new hurler when we come back here on the Henderson State Sports Network. It's a familiar face for Henderson State fans. The new pitcher for Oklahoma Baptist is Jordan Brewer. Brewer, the lefty, pitched yesterday. Pitched 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 earned runs on 1 hit. Struck out 1. Brewer was the pitcher who gave up the home run to Luke Rice in the 6th inning of the first game yesterday. He's He's going to get a chance at redemption here for Oklahoma Baptist. He's going to get the ball. The Bison lead the Reddies right now 3-2. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Henderson State with runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the 8th inning, so a golden opportunity for the Reddies to tie or take the lead in this game. The pivotal, deciding game of this 3-game GAC weekend series. The numbers on Jordan Brewer, 7.58 ERA. This is 16th appearance. 19 innings of work for the Bison. Struck out 28, walked 16. He's given up 16 earned runs on 19 hits. 8 wild pitches, 9 hit batters. And it's going to be the left fielder, Louis Holt, to face him. Big situation here for Louis. Game hanging in the balance. Big opportunity here for Henderson State against Brewer. Louis Holt, 1 for 3 today. Singled back in the second. Squares to bunt, gets a good one down. It goes to the third baseman, Dickinson. He runs and makes the play on Holt. Good play by Spencer Dickinson. Dickinson throws out Holt, 5-3 on the sack bunt, but Holt does his job and does it well. Moves the runners over. So now 2 in scoring position for Henderson State. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Infield's going to be drawn in for Oklahoma Baptist. A base hit from Nate Moore would very likely give the Reddies the lead. Luke Rice standing on third. Not anymore, in fact. They just pinch ran for Luke Rice, I should say. That's Nick Tremblay. Tremblay, the coaches and teammates will tell you, is the fastest player on the team by far. They've inserted him at third base. Looks like the Reddies have also put a pinch runner in at second. That's not Jordan Allen out there. Can't tell who that is from here. First pitch strike looked at by Nate Moore. Moore, he's due as well, 0 for 3 today. Just trying to put a ball in play to score the game-tying run for Henderson State. A base hit is probably going to give them the lead. Nate Moore puts it into play, does his job. Here comes the center fielder. It's going to be a close play. They're going to send Nick Tremblay, the fastest player on the team. Here he comes. The throw's a little offline, and Tremblay's in. This is tied. That's just a great coaching decision right there by Cody Hooten and his staff. Nick Tremblay, that ball was not hit very deep into center field, but Nate Moore does just enough. Throw was a little bit offline.
Batting the right fielder, number 8, Cal Jones.
And Nick Tremblay, with his wheels, gets in under the tag to tie this game. Henderson State now with a chance to take the lead. 2 outs here. Runner still on second base. It's Cal Jones, the true freshman. A chance to give the Reddies the lead with a base hit here. Jones checks his swing, but they're going to say he went around. Cody Hooten doesn't like it. I don't like it either. Did not think he went around right there. They're not even going to check. It's an 0-1 count on Cal Jones. That one gets away. Spiked by Jordan Brewer. That moves the runner down to third base. Alex Galvan, pinch running for Jordan Allen. He's standing at third now, and now a base hit will certainly give the Reddies the lead. Cal Jones, big spot for the true freshman. 3-3 game here, bottom of the 8th. Henderson State and Oklahoma Baptist. Cal tries to bunt. Just can't get enough of it, fouls it back. Thought about trying to squeeze there. Couldn't get it down. 1-2 count now against Cal Jones. Brewer 1 strike away from getting out of it. The Reddies 1 swing away from taking the lead. That pitch gets away. Here comes Ryan Galvin. He's in there! Galvin Gets in under the tag. Back-to-back wild pitches by Jordan Brewer allows Alex Galvan to go from second to third and third to home without Henderson State even putting a ball in play. And the Reddies have a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Unbelievable. It's been a tough weekend for Jordan Brewer. Cal Jones sends that one into center field, and to make matters worse, the Bison are going to have the out right there. Center fielder 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗜𝗕𝗥 comes on to make that play, but the damage is done. Henderson State entered the bottom half of the 8th inning trailing 3-1. They put 3 runs on the board. They lead at 4-3, and they're now 3 outs away from winning this game and capturing this series. We'll see if they can do it when we come back here on the Henderson State Sports Network. Henderson State 3 outs away. They score 3 runs in the bottom half of the 8th, and they now lead it 4-3. They've trailed all day. Their first lead of the day. And they now will turn to Peyton Byrd. His second appearance of the weekend. Byrd faced 2 batters in the second game yesterday. He was inserted when it was 8-8. He walked them both. Not the appearance he was looking for. Much like his counterpart from Oklahoma Baptist, Jordan Brewer, Peyton Byrd now an opportunity for a little redemption here. Trying to close this one out for Henderson State. Some defensive changes around Byrd as well. Luke Rice was just pinch run for by Nick Tremblay. Tremblay is going to go into right field. Cal Jones is going to take Louis Holt's place in left. Nate Moore stays in center. And now in Luke Rice's position at first is Dylan Thomas. So some defensive substitutions to keep in mind, particularly on any plays here in the infield. New first baseman, Dylan Thomas. Peyton Byrd taking his warm-up tosses. Byrd, like we talked about yesterday, this has been his role all season. He's been one of the guys the Reddies turn to at the very end of games to try to close it out. Hasn't faced a situation much bigger than this season. Not only the game, but the series hanging in the balance for Peyton Byrd. He's going to face 9-1-2 in the lineup for Oklahoma Baptist. This is 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗧𝗏, the center fielder. He hits it right back to Byrd. A good start. That's got to calm the nerves at least a little bit for Peyton Byrd. 1 pitch, 1 out. A 1-3 put out. And there's 1 down for Oklahoma Baptist. But here come the big hitters. Here's the second baseman, 𝗦𝗓𝗓 𝗏𝒡. Leadoff hitter, 1 for 4 today. 381 average. 9 home runs, 40 RBIs. First pitch from Byrd is in there for a called strike. Oh, 0-1 count to 𝗏𝒡. Byrd's pitch is in there again. 0-2.
Hey, Byrd. Go get him here. Go get him here.
Peyton Byrd trying to notch the save and win the game for the Reddies. Swing and a miss! 𝗏𝒡 induced a chase by Peyton Byrd. And Byrd, back-to-back quick outs, strikes out 𝗏𝒡 there. And Oklahoma Baptist is down to their final out of the series. Reddies lead it 4-3. Their hopes hinge on the first baseman, Jaden Schaefer. Schaefer 0 for 3 today, 3 strikeouts, walked in the third. He's ahead 1-0 here on Peyton Bird. Bases are clear. Bird's 1-0's cut on by Schaefer, and he fouls it back into the netting to even the count at 1-1. 10 hits for Henderson State, 5 for Oklahoma Baptist. Bird's 1-1 is low and away, 2-1. Peyton Bird trying to close this thing out. Swing and a miss. High fastball, Oklahoma Baptist down to their final strike of the game. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Reddies lead at 4-3 here in the top of the 9th. That's hit hard, and it's a base hit into right field. Jaden Schaefer keeps the game alive for Oklahoma Baptist, and look who that will bring to the plate.
Batting the designated hitter, number 30, Alex Schroeder.
Here is Schroeder, potential GAC Player of the Year. GAC all-time leader in career home runs. He's 0 for 4 today. Takes a first pitch from Bird, and it's high for a ball.
Great pitch, boy.
Schaefer stands at first. He's the tying run. One swing from Schroeder can give the Bison the lead. That pitch from Bird, low, 2-0 to Schroeder. Anxious moments here at Clyde-Berry Field. It's been a terrific series between these two teams. Well played. This game's no different. Here's the 2-0 in there from Peyton Bird to make it 2-1. Big pitch from Bird. Did not want to fall behind 3-0. Two-1, cut on by Schroeder, fouled away once again. The Bison down to their final strike of the game and the series. Birds 2-2, well outside, count runs full. Reddies lead at 4-3. Top of the 9th, 2 outs, 3-2 count on Schroeder. He's got a man standing at first. Peyton Bird looking to end it right here. His 3-2. Schroeder checked his swing. They'll say he didn't go around. Reddy's got no such luck last half inning on Cal Jones.
Batting the catcher, number 33, Troy Shields.
But Oklahoma Baptist gets the call here. And that keeps the game going. Tying run now on second. Go-ahead run on first. It's the catcher, Troy Shields, now standing in. 2 outs, 2 men on, facing Peyton Bird. First pitch bounces, well blocked by Landon Irvin. 1-0. And they're going to go talk to Peyton Bird. Cody Hooten's going to walk out there to have a chat with his right-handed pitcher from Warren. We'll take a quick break with him. You're listening to the Henderson State Sports Network. Meeting on the mound over. Cody Hooten has imparted his wisdom on to Peyton Bird. Peyton Bird trying to close this thing out. There's a pinch runner over at first base for Oklahoma Baptist. That's number 11, Brandon Brewer, running for Schroeder. So everybody's got all their chips in the middle of the table right now. That 1-0 pitch fouled away by Shields. It's 1-1. Reddies lead at 4-3. Oklahoma Baptist trying to tie the game. They've got the tying run on second. Here's Bird's 1-1 to Shields. Bounces in. 2-1. Schaefer, who's on second, reached on a base hit. He had 2 strikes against him. Stayed alive, single into right. And then Schroeder was walked. Shields now with a 2-1 count. 2 men on. 4-3 Reddies. 2 outs here in the 9th. Fouled away once again. Oklahoma Baptist down to their final strike of the game. Peyton Bird gets the sign. Looking to close this thing out right here and win the series for Henderson State. Here's his 2-2. Popped up. Out into the outfield. Looking forward is Moore. He's got it, and Henderson State wins. Peyton Bird gets some redemption after yesterday's second game, and Henderson State, who trailed 3-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning, scores 3 runs and closes it out to win this GAC weekend series against Oklahoma Baptist. A massive, massive series victory for Henderson State against a very good and very talented Oklahoma Baptist squad who came in here ready to play this weekend. They had the Reddies on the ropes in all 3 games, folks. They had a 5-0 lead in Game 1, an 8-0 lead in Game 2, and a 3-1 lead in the 8th in the 8th inning of the 3rd and final game. But Henderson State wins the series 2-1. And that is a huge, huge victory for Henderson State, not just in the series sense, but in the Great American Conference standings. The Reddies now 18-12 overall. They'll be in 5th place alone in the GAC standings after today, with 1 series remaining and a chance to play their way into hosting a first-round GAC tournament series here at Clyde Berry Field, where, as we saw this weekend, the Reddies are pretty good. Thanks for listening to us all weekend here at Clyde Berry Field. I'm David Sally. It's been my pleasure to call this series for you. Join us again next weekend when it's the Battle of the Ravine here at Clyde Berry Field in Arkadelphia between your Henderson State Reddies and those guys across the street, the Ouachita Baptist Tigers. Until then, your final score here, Henderson State 4, Oklahoma Baptist 3. The Reddies win the series. Goodbye, everybody.